Hi, everyone. It's still the 13th of February, 2020. It is Thursday afternoon. Welcome in. I'm Roy Potter. I needed to come on. I said I would if something developed. It's not quite what I expected, so I'm a little concerned, but it doesn't surprise me either that this is happening. Let me make sure that I'm actually up and running here. Sometimes it doesn't look like we are. Okay, hello as you come in. I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. And something's happened, and I've been concerned about this for some time. I first saw it from Undercover Huber on Twitter, but I couldn't access it because he was referencing he had attached the New York Times, which I can't get access to. So I went back into my search engine and I looked up what's going on here, and this is from ABC News, so I think it's the same thing. And it says, Barr blasts Trump's tweets on Stone case. Quote, impossible for me to do my job, ABC News exclusive. I'm going to read this partially, not the whole thing, because they might say I'm taking their information. But let me just tell you what's going on here. In an exclusive interview, Attorney General Bill Barr told ABC News on Thursday that President Donald Trump has never asked me to do anything in a criminal case, but should stop tweeting about the Justice Department because his tweets make it impossible for me to do my job. Did he not talk to President Trump about this? Without going, do you do this to your boss? To the entire nation? Do you realize how close to being Lieutenant Colonel Vindman this is? It's like I said, I don't trust Barr. This kind of shows maybe what I've been saying about Barr. Maybe this exonerates Trump to some point. Now, I get aggravated at Trump's tweets too. You know, he's constantly whining. You know how I've said. But you don't do this when you're the AG. Just like you wouldn't expect the Lieutenant Colonel Vindman to do it. Let me go on here for a minute. He says here, I think it's time to stop the tweeting about Department of Justice criminal cases, Barr told ABC News Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas. When asked if he was prepared for the consequences of criticizing the president, his boss, Barr said, of course, because his job is to run the Justice Department and make decisions on what I think is the right thing to do. Well, his ultimate responsibility to do what he's told is from the president, not from him. So you see how he's starting to slip to the idea that the Democrats and the leftists are saying that he's supposed to be independent, like Comey was saying he's supposed to be independent. You see what's going on here? Quote from Bill Barr again. I'm not going to be bullied or influenced by anybody, whether it's Congress, a newspaper, editorial board, or the president. Where have we heard that before? Who else said that? Does that sound familiar? Somebody else in his administration did that who was sabotaging the president. Barr said, I'm going to do what I think is right, and you know I cannot do my job here at the department with a constant background commentary that undercuts me. Well, maybe it's undercutting because he's not doing what the president's telling him what to do. Now, I realize the president's not an attorney. But if he says, I want you to submit dismissals on Roger Stone, on Flynn, and on Assange, and any of these other cases that are similar, what the hell is Barr doing here? He's undercutting the president. Do you see what I'm saying? So something major has happened here that's showing that there's a break in the armor between these two. And I've long said that I don't trust Barr in the long run. Basically, he's stating that this is around the Stone case and Trump's concerns and complaints about the four prosecutors. Rightly so. Then why didn't Barr come out and say that he was taking some disciplinary action against these prosecutors for prosecutorial misconduct, just like he should for the guys who were doing it in the Bundy case out west? Okay, he's not, and we've wondered why he hasn't done anything. So what's going on here? Barr's doing the politicking instead of letting the president do it. Quote from the article again. The about face raised serious questions about whether Barr had intervened on behalf of the president's friend. It also raised questions about whether Trump personally pressured the Justice Department either directly or indirectly. So what? The Justice Department works for him. And see what I mean? Do you see what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen? Now, This could all be something to try to hush the Democrats who are accusing Barr of this nefarious activity of covering up crimes of the president or whatever. This could be Barr's way of shutting it down, but I don't think this is the right way to do it. This is showing a break between Barr and the president, and frankly, I think it's for real. I think it's for real. I think it has been for real. I think maybe it's possible that President Trump has been trying to get Barr to move and that Barr has been putting on the brakes. I mean, look, Wray's still working. Wray should have been fired by now, the FBI director, right? Wray not giving out the information that has been requested by the different FOIA requests and the Senate, etc. Well, who's allowed him to do that? Obviously, remember I said Barr has. A few videos back, I said either Wray's doing this because President Trump and Barr want him to, or he's violating his office and should be fired. But because he's not being fired, then it must be that he's doing what President Trump and Barr want him to do. Well, now it looks like there's a break between Barr and Trump, and that the reason why Wray's still in power is because Barr's still there, and it's as I said, Barr is concerned about saving the institutions. So we've lost, the Huber thing that he was going to be, Sessions was going to be the savior, Huber was going to be the savior, Barr's going to be the savior, Durham's going to be the savior. No, it's not going to go forward from Durham if Barr doesn't let it. I don't think this is just a move by Barr to try to stop the commentary and the complaints from the left, from the Democrats. I think it's a genuine break with the president. Sorry, I do. I knew something big was going to develop today. I didn't know it was going to be this. So I haven't got all the information about what's going on, but this is a very bad development in my estimation, and it's verifying what I've been concerned about the entire time, that Barr is there to save the institutions, not the country, not the republic, not the Constitution, not the American people. Let me see what you guys think. I'll have to pardon the background noise. Some of the people have come home and they're listening to music. They're the kids, okay? Let me see what you're saying here, okay? I've been concerned about this with Barr from some time. He should never have said this publicly, ever. And I tried to look at it, as I said, that Barr is trying to make this appearance of separation between him and the president, to appease the Democrats. But I don't believe that's what's going on here. I think this is a genuine thing, okay? And Barr is telling the intelligence state, the intelligence community, that he's taking care of business for them. That's what I'm concerned it is, like I've said from the beginning. Okay, let's see what you guys are doing here. Let's see what you're saying, what you think. Thanks for letting me know the sound's okay. Yeah, the Democrats consider anybody exercising political authority other than themselves a criminal. Timothy Day says it, but what do we say about Barr? What do you think is happening here with Barr? I don't want to be the only one figuring this. Hell no, Fred Flintstone, Barr's deep state. Okay, that's what I've been saying from the start, right? Barr is Bush administration, right? Barr no better than Sessions, right? Barr cannot be trusted, right? Look at Ruby Ridge, Waco, the cover-up for the Bushes and all that. Clinton's everything, yes. Potter, let it go, man. It's all a show. No. It might be, but this is serious, okay? The deceived are deceiving each other. Jackie Koo, and you and I have been on the same sheet of music, Jackie. You're right, absolutely. I know. The wicked will destroy the wicked, and we're here to just watch this evil, whether one side or the other, and I agree. But the problem is that the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, which I've talked about so many times, the Bill of Rights is hanging in the balance. That's the real problem. And, of course, our liberties that are expressed underneath that. That's the problem, and that's why I'm so concerned about this. Everyone knows Roger Stone's getting 9 years in prison is crazy. Yeah, but now Barr is saying that Trump's criticizing of the... if Barr had come out and publicly dismissed himself, said that he was dismissing them or telling them to dismiss the case, make a motion in the court, which the Department of Justice can do. The Department of Justice, even at this point in time, can go into the court and say, we're going to move on dismissal on the grounds of justice or whatever. But Barr's let these things go forward. Do you see? I haven't trusted this all the time. I knew there was something wrong. Yeah, I can understand GuffVet 90 not having respect for Trump because they find Trump weak. I agree. What have I been saying? All of this time? To compare what Barr said to Vindman is asinine. No, it's not, underdog. I'm not. It's not at the same level of subversion. It's not the same thing as sedition. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that Barr is now kowtowing to the IC, to the intelligence state. That's what I'm saying. And in that regard, with Vindman, it's true. That is true. Barr is just distancing himself from Trump's tweets so that he doesn't look like a political hack when he cuts Stone loose. Hey, then you don't say anything. You don't say anything. No, I disagree, underdog. I disagree. I understand what you're trying to say, but that means that Barr's trying to save his own skin, which means he's not in the game the way you and I think, or you think that he's been. Okay, it's not his job to do that. What did Eric Holder say about President Obama when asked? He said, "I am Obama's wingman." He was there right with Obama to protect him. Barr's not doing that. Oh, it's okay for Obama and Holder to be, that close together, but it's not okay for, Barr. That's okay for Holder and Obama to be that close together, but not Barr and Barr and Trump. Do you see the problem here? This isn't making any sense what you're saying. No, I don't think that's what's happening. I'm not saying it isn't, that he's not trying to distance himself so he can do things, but I don't think that's what's happening. I think he's signaling to the deep state, to the intelligence state, that he's actually on their side. And this is why Comey, Strzok, and McCabe were laughing this week when Rubini and the Gateway pundit came out and said that, McCabe and Strzok were going to be arrested this week. They knew better because Barr's not doing anything. I think that's what's happening here. Okay, Mark H., you just pointed out. Yeah, remember Holder saying he was Obama's wingman, and Barr saying he's not going to be intimidated by the president. Holy crap. If anybody should be intimidated by the president, it's the frickin' DOJ. Is Barr being compromised? Susie Q., he's been compromised for 30 years. Remember, his father ran the Dalton school that brought in Jeffrey Epstein. And Ahal, it might be right. No break, Roy. Both are acting their script out. It could very well be. And just as somebody else pointed out earlier, the wicked will destroy the wicked, and we're just watching this whole thing. I agree. But at the very least, you see my point, that this is a big development. This is a very big development. I don't trust Trump. Haven't I been concerned about that? But it might be that Trump is awake now. Maybe he is moving forward. And I know he has ties to the Noahide laws. And as a matter of fact, Pastor Chuck, what's his last name? I don't know why I'm forgetting it right now. I won't look it up. Yeah, I will. I can't stand it. There have been some people that have talked about that in the past. Chuck Baldwin. Pastor Chuck Baldwin has talked about that. And I'm very well aware of the Noahide laws and that they're not biblical, they're Talmudic. I understand all of that. I understand that. And that Trump may, in fact, be a closet Lubavitcher, okay, Kabbalist. I understand that. I've long suspected that his hair, the way it's combed, isn't just to cover a scar, but it's because of not cutting the corner of his beard, which would be a Lubavitcher, Kabbalist, Rebbeckite thing, okay? I don't know if you all understand that, but it is a problem. And Chuck Baldwin talks about that the Noahide laws and Talmudic law is more of a danger to us than the Sharia. And I wouldn't go quite that far, but I understand what's going on here. So anyway, you see how I'm looking at this whole thing from a bigger picture. Yeah, there are no indictments. Yeah, there are none. There are no indictments, not even yet. Sounds like Bird can't take the pressure. You mean Barr, Bird? This explains why, Judicial Watch's stuff hasn't been taken in by Barr. And this whole thing about setting up the vetting between Rudy Giuliani and the Justice Department that Barr brought out the other day, that may in fact be a smokescreen. That's the problem I'm worried about. Joe Cool says, "You are never Trumper, Mr. Potter, and you hope Barr gets barred from the DOJ. There is no perfect person to lead." Go look at Mark Pantana. I've got time to waste on you, Joe Cool. I just don't. You might want to change your name because you're not being cool. Okay, you're just not. I'm not gonna boot you for that because that's your opinion. But to call me a never Trumper, no, I go for principle, not personality. I'm trying to talk too fast here because I don't want this to go too long. Maybe I'll just slow down a little bit. Actually, the AG should have remained Matt Whitaker, and I know there was a problem with him being, going before the Senate and being confirmed by the Senate, but that could have been done out of session because you can make the president, with the help of McConnell, could have made some recess appointments, and they didn't do that. Yeah, Barr's being attacked by Congress too. Well, primarily the people in Congress that are doing that are tied in with the Intel state and, of course, the Democrats. Like I said, Barr, I've never trusted that Barr would have the guts to go through with this thing. Okay, I've never trusted him. That's all I'm saying. Chief Ryback, either Potter is a disinfo gatekeeper trying to pretend like politics isn't just theater for the useless eaters, or this man is completely brain dead. No, I understand what you're saying. I've often talked about the wicked destroying the wicked. I understand that. Okay. Yeah, Jackie Koo, the real fact is that Trump is not in control. He never has been. He brought in the wrong people, either by hook or by crook, and it's been bad for America. Okay, that's the bottom line. It's been bad for America. Burger Dog, I've said since day one, Barr and Ray need to go. Yep, you're right. You're right. Barr is a Bushman, absolutely. Trump is a Zionist puppet, guys. MAGA, I know. Barr is deep state. Can you say Ruby Ridge? I know. I've talked about all this. Okay, at this point, it's too soon to jump to but ears are tuned. Right, that's a good way to look tree climbing, and that's why I'm coming on. This is a red siren, and that's exactly how Undercover Huber on Twitter, not the real John Huber, but the Undercover Huber put it, who's a great, apparently a very good attorney, and has very good connections and does very good analysis. But that's what I'm saying. We need to watch what's going on here, because I think Barr is either. I don't think we can depend on him, and that's the basic line of what I'm saying. I haven't trusted Barr from the start, and he's into saving the institutions, and he's really not ready to make that jump to becoming the greatest AG that ever lived by helping to take down the swamp. I think that he's not ready to go there. 5G red flag laws, USMCA. Barr didn't make him do that. No, I understand what you're saying, Hal. I understand what you're saying, but by the same token, we see what else has happened in the DOJ since then. One of the big things for me was when Barr allowed the Bundy. First of all, when Barr allowed the Bundy, after it was dismissed by Judge Navarro with prejudice, to allow his DOJ to then apply for an appeal to set aside Navarro's ruling so they could retry the Bundys. When I saw that, I knew there was a problem. And we've seen the same thing across the board in the DOJ, okay? Okay, let's see what else. I'm going to get back to this and read a couple of other things here. When asked if he was prepared for the consequences of criticizing the president, his boss, Barr said, of course, because his job is to run the Justice Department and make decisions on what I think is the right thing to do. Again, I said no. No. As Holder said, he was Obama's wingman, and Barr should have been the same way. This is, again, making it look like Comey was saying that the FBI should be a separate thing, not under the president. And now Barr is doing the same thing. Now, I can understand disagreeing with your boss. I did that in the military all the time, okay? I fought tooth and toenail with some of my commanders over decisions, over what course of action to take, etc. And I've talked about some of those here. But when the decision was made, I shut up and I got in line, okay, as long as it wasn't illegal. You understand what I'm saying? And when it was illegal and I got subpoenaed, I went into court and testified, okay? Okay, let's see what else he says here. Okay, he's saying that his actions with Stone had nothing to do with the president's wishes. He said he was supportive of Stone's convictions. What? Of Stone's convictions? Does he mean Stone's beliefs, or does he mean the convictions by the court? I think that's what he means. He said he was supportive of the conviction of Stone, and that's crazy. That's crazy that everything under Mueller has been fruit of the poisonous tree. Even getting these people in front of a grand jury was part of the fruit of the poisonous tree. It should never have happened in the first place. So either he, you see the problem here, but thought the sentencing recommendation was excessive. Okay. I think Barr is a problem, like I've said all along. Okay. I think that's enough. I could go through all the other details, but I think we know what we're talking about here. Okay, so I see a problem. It's the reason why Ray hasn't been fired is Barr is protecting him, okay? Okay, folks, you know what this means. Remember my topics this morning. It means nobody in D.C. is going to help us on the First Amendment. Nobody in D.C. is going to help us on the Second Amendment. Nobody in D.C. is going to help us on the Fourth Amendment. And those three are married together. They're like one. All right? It's done. Whether it's a game, whether it's theater, or whatever, Barr's signaling to the intelligence state that he's on their side. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a serious, serious situation. Joe DeGeneva, I'm sorry, but he's been he's been pushing Barr being this great hero all this time, and now this is starting to look like the rest of us who have said that we have questions turns out to be the case in fact. And it's very disappointing, but it's not surprising. Not surprising at all. Okay, let me see. Yeah, Sherry Schroeder, I talked about the funding things this morning about this budget that he signed gives money to the sanctuary cities on immigration. Yet at the same time, supposedly Barr is filing these suits against the sanctuary cities. So what basically Trump did is give them the money to fight the suit from the Justice Department. It's all ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. Okay. Wow. I could get into the situation with the Lubovichers and Kushner and Ivanka and Trump's adherence to, Israel over America, and we could get into all of that. Trump and Barr trade wives. Oh, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Trump might be a businessman and negotiator, but he ain't going there. No. Okay, no, I don't think so. False flag in Seattle on Trump's birthday. Oh. Okay. I think I just wanted to bring that to you. I just wanted to get some of your feelings on this. I see this as a very, very big problem. But it exonerates all of our concerns about who and what Barr really is. Okay? That's what it's really about. Sorry I got really going there, but there is some music in the background. I wouldn't make sure it didn't want to drown out what I was talking about here. It's been 24 minutes already. I better get off of here. Again, I might be back today depending upon some things, but I don't think we're going to see any more firings. I think Alex Jones was wrong about that. There aren't hundreds of firings going on in the Department of State and Department of Justice. Something would have leaked out about that by now. I don't think we're going to see any arrests anytime soon, if at all. This is what this signals to me. Okay, yeah, the deep state is pulling Barr strings. Yeah, and I think that's exactly right. Okay, I got to go. I just wanted to make sure that we covered that base and do as Drudge and as Undercover Huber does. I don't have a red siren light, a red light or siren, but I wanted to make sure that this development was out there. This is serious as far as I'm concerned. It may be theater. It doesn't matter. It still signals that we're not going to get what we hoped we'd get with Trump and Barr, is what I'm saying. Okay? All right. The only thing that we can do now, as far as I'm concerned, is Trump has to get the cojones to institute the Insurrection Act. And I don't think he's got the cojones to do that. So, folks, things aren't looking good. All right? Okay, I'm going to go later. We'll watch this and see if we can figure out a few other parts a little bit later, and maybe some more information will give us a little more insight. But I think we're probably right on the money at this point, what I'm saying. Okay? All right. Out here for now. Thanks, everybody. See you later.